New tonight, Brexit in turmoil after England voted fair and square more than 2 years ago to leave the European Union. Now, top officials have never totally accepted that. You know, kind of reminds me of our situation here, right? Many elites have absolutely no respect for the will of the people, which is why they resist the idea that Donald Trump is president. Now, just before Brexit got a new leader today, I sat down with Piers Morgan, editor-at-large at dailymail.com, who is in New York City to guest host Daily Mail TV. And our first topic, Brexit chaos. Watch. What the heck is going on in your country?
Can you tell me? It is complete chaos. I've actually come to America to find some calm political stability, which nobody in America ever thought would be the case. It is complete chaos. And a bit like, actually, America and the division over Donald Trump, it's completely, you're all in for Brexit or you're all out against it, and there's no middle ground. There's no kind of reasoned democratic debate. It is all or nothing, and it's created a very toxic atmosphere. The Prime Minister's been losing control of the situation now for months. Now many of the cabinet and government have been resigning, and you feel like the dominoes are falling, and no one's quite sure what's going to happen.
What do you think should happen? Should she go? Well,
I think that the problem is, in the end, she voted to stay in. She was a Remainer at heart, and I don't think she believes in Brexit. 17.4 million people in Britain voted to leave the European Union. That was the biggest democratic vote my country has ever had. What it needed really was a Brexiteer, somebody that fundamentally had a passion.
Wasn't that Nigel Farage?
Nigel Farage, Boris Johnson, Jacob Rees-Mogg, any of these guys, people that genuinely want to drive the Brexit train to the Brexit destination. Instead, we have a train driver who actually wants to go and go back where we started. It screams out for a leader, a Margaret Thatcher, a Winston Churchill, somebody, even a Tony Blair for his first 2 terms, somebody that can actually lead the country. The problem with Theresa May is she's not a leader. She would not inspire me to open a crisp packet.
Is there anyone there, or are you guys going to just drift along?
My guess is that a Brexiteer will be in charge of the country sooner rather than later. Probably, I would imagine, Boris Johnson or David Davis, who was the previous Brexit secretary. We've had 2 who've now resigned. So it is, you know, it's a farce on one level. But it's a serious
And you
farce.
say that it's actually a bigger mess than what we're dealing with here. When you look at what's going on here, and I know you think you guys got it worse, what path are we on?
You're on a very similar path where I think it's fueled a lot by social media, I have to say. It's fueled a lot by hysterical liberal celebrities, as I put them, who dominate on social media and just scream all day, whether it's anti-Brexit or anti-Trump. And it creates a sort of toxic atmosphere where normal democratic debate, you know, reaching across the aisle and actually reaching points of consensus, has completely gone. And now you either hate Trump or you love Trump. And what you're not allowed to do is to be kind of, well, I like this and I don't like this, which is what used to happen in politics, both in Britain and America. And it's got to stop at some stage. At some stage, you've got to look at Donald Trump. You've got to put the tweeting and the rhetoric to one side. Look at what he's actually been doing. Give him credit where he deserves it. I've written about 45 columns for dailymail.com about Trump.
I know. I read them. You're very fair. You praise him when he gets something right, and you come after him pretty hard when he gets it wrong.
I think about half the columns have been critical, half have been supportive, and I really do believe that that is a fairer representation than everything's rosy in the Trump garden, or everything he does is terrible. But you know, you try and play the fair, you know, sort of slightly bipartisan role on Donald Trump, and people go nuts on both sides.
Well, you must get lots of hate mail from, I guess if you've got everybody angry
hates
at
me.
you, then maybe that's a good thing. So you're hosting this TV show. Tell me about it.
Well, it's Daily Mail TV. It's based on the dailymail.com website, which has become the biggest newspaper, English-speaking newspaper website in the world in terms of readership.
I got it right here on my phone.
Everybody
on my
loves
app.
dailymail.com, right? And the TV show has been in its 2nd year now, airs in most of the country at different hours, obviously depending where you live. But it's basically the site on television. Very exciting, very fast-moving, obviously changing all day, and lots of breaking news and big scoops and so on. I used to run run a big newspaper in Britain. So for me, it's like going a little bit back in time to my old role. And for a couple of days here in New York, I've been doing it on TV, which has been fun, actually.
It's different, though, right? The whole print versus TV thing.
Listen, print newspapers really have 15 years, I would say, before they're gone. It won't make any commercial sense to print newspapers anymore.
Ah, come on. I still like reading my Wall Street Journal in the morning, holding on to it.
Okay, but how many vinyl records do you play?
Yeah, no, none.
Nobody does,
none.
right? And do we really miss vinyl records? You know, my dad says he misses the old scratchy sound of his old gramophone records. I don't think people do. The truth is, journalism will always survive. Strong journalism has no worries about its future. The mode of transport of that journalism will just be ever faster, and you won't have to wait until the morning for the paper to come off the printing press. It breaks my heart as an old newspaper print guy, but the digital format for journalism is an exciting, brave new world, and we should embrace it.
We do. Thank you so much. Piers Morgan, good
to see you. Real pleasure. Thank you.